Welcome back, boys. Today we have one from Taylor. Let's check it out.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again. And on today's episode, we have a story here today titled Female Employee Complains That Nobody Speaks to Her Anymore After She Falsely Accuses a Coworker. Now,
Wow, that's who would have thought? Who would have thought, huh?
Now, me personally, I think that this woman should have been sacked immediately. She should no longer be working wherever she is working. Women who do this, in my opinion, should face the same consequences as the men that they accuse of the crimes that they accused the men of. I think that would solve this immediately. All of the women, more or less, would stop doing it, and it would be absolutely perfect. But guys, before we jump into today's story, just a bit of an announcement. I will be doing daily TikTok videos again. Check to be resumed, but still incredibly stupid story here today. So let's jump into it. A 29-year-old man recounts how a false accusation made by a female coworker nearly cost him his reputation and his job. After HR got involved and the truth came out, her attempt to play victim left her isolated, oh no, and confused why no one wanted anything to do with her. Here's the real sad part about these stories, guys, is even when men are falsely accused of something that they didn't do, the problem is a lot of people still treat it as though it's true, right? You'll still have that stain on your reputation.
It is guilty until proven innocent. It's not the other way around.
Some people will still say, oh, you have to believe the woman no matter what. There are very famous dudes who have lost careers over this stuff, like multi-million-dollar careers over being falsely accused, even though there was no proof whatsoever. So this is no laughing matter, guys. Just, this man's reputation might be intact, but hey, maybe it's not. Maybe he doesn't know. And also, a lot of men, it's not intact for them. So let's jump into it. I'm a 29-year-old male. I work in a mid-sized tech company, and I'd been in my role for about 4 years when this happened. The office culture was super laid back, respectful, and mostly drama-free until she showed up. So let's call her Alyssa. She was 26. She was hired into the same team as me, junior development, fresh from a boot camp, smart, decent at the job, kind of shy at first. We all made an effort to include her, especially since tech environments can be intimidating for newcomers. I was one of the more senior people on the team, so naturally I was paired with her for some onboarding and mentoring during her first few weeks. So let me just say, guys, I understand, right? It can be intimidating. You go to a new job, especially, I'm assuming this.
I hear there's a lot of people now that don't want to work one-on-one with a woman like that. In like if you go like traveling or something for work, they don't want to do it alone with a coworker.
This is a male-dominated field. This is a mid-sized tech.
Because anything can be said, and then
thing. What do they say? Mid-sized tech company. Like, there are not a lot of women, at least proportionate to men, who work in these industries. So I can understand how it would be stressful. Let me just say this, though. I would not want to be paired up with a woman, especially one-on-one, guys.
Yeah.
Right? There's a reason why men avoid women in the workplace these days, that they don't want to do one-on-one meetings or one-on-one assistance. Or if they do, there has to be cameras in the room, or at the very least, somebody else in the room, which by definition makes it no longer one-on-one. But this is actually dangerous for men to do. And it's not because every single woman is going to accuse a man. The problem is just that it does happen. And even if it's provably false, a lot of the times the man suffers anyway. And good luck to you if it's not provably false. Okay? So a lot of guys have just opted to say, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to do one-on-one things with women, guys. Not to be rude to the women. It's not about being rude or an a-hole or saying you don't like women. It's just about using common sense and having self-preservation thoughts.
Yeah.
Let's continue. I'm in a long-term relationship, he said, engaged, in fact. I've never blurred the line between professionalism and personal life at work. I was polite to her, answered her questions, invited her to lunch with the team, the usual stuff. Apparently, just being decent to her was enough to set the stage for what came next. A few months in, I noticed she became colder, wouldn't say good morning, wouldn't join for team lunches anymore. I didn't think much of it. Figured maybe she was going through something or she was just introverted. Then one day, my manager pulled me into a meeting with HR. Okay, this will be
Oof.
good. He says, Alyssa had filed a formal complaint against me. She claimed that I was making her uncomfortable, lingering too long at her desk, giving her unwanted attention, making subtle advances. I mean, what is this, man? Subtle advances. She said that it had created a hostile work environment. I swear, guys, these women have no idea what the word hostile means. We're just throwing words out there. Unwanted attention, hostile work environment. Like, this makes it sound, especially that last bit of wording right there, makes it sound like the man is threatening her somehow, or that he's dangerous. It's just disgusting, the language that's being used here. Now, I don't know why she did this, okay? Like, maybe she did it because she wants some sort of angle to get money, or she just wants to make herself look like a victim. Maybe she was actually interested in him and he actually kept it professional with her, something like. There's a million different reasons why women do this crap. But still, you know, that's a lot of reasons why men might not want to engage with them whatsoever. Let's continue. He says, I was floored. I asked for specifics. HR read out a few quotes she attributed to me, completely fabricated or twisted versions of normal office conversations. One such example, I had said, you'll get the hang of it soon, don't stress it. She told HR I said it with a suggestive tone and called her sweetheart. I've never used that word in my life, especially not at work. Oh my goodness.
What?
This woman's bonkers, man. She's absolutely bonkers. So now,
this is just one more reason why now people don't want to work one-on-one.
Now, right, because the words can't be like, so she has to say that he said it with a suggestive tone because he didn't actually say anything that was not sensible, by the way, except for sweetheart, which he's never said in his life he ever said, by the way. Which, like, sweetheart, I mean, I know a lot of older guys who use that word no matter what, and they're not trying to flirt with women. That's just like how they were brought up. That's just the language they use being an older guy. They're not trying to hit on somebody when they say that. But this guy doesn't even use the damn word. She's accusing him of using it and saying that he had a suggestive tone. Get the hell out of here. This guy's engaged, as he said too. He says, I had to sit through 2 weeks of HR monitoring, during which they interviewed half the team. So now the team is getting interviewed, asking, hey, what's this guy like? You know, is he this? Is he that? So this is where the reputation damage can come in. They checked chat logs, Slack history, emails, everything. My manager backed me, so did multiple teammates. Great stuff. Even another female coworker who had worked with me for years vouched that her claims didn't align with anything she'd seen. Eventually, HR cleared me. They said that there was insufficient evidence and that the matter was closed. But that was corporate speak for, we know she's lying, but we're not saying it outright. I wasn't written up, but the experience stuck with me. This is like, people will meme about this, they'll joke about this, but this is
now she's completely alienated. I would imagine like nobody like you know, want to work with her, or like I can imagine the atmosphere is very different now.
actually a very stressful experience for a man to go through, especially if, number one, you had no such intentions. This guy's engaged, for example. So that would just be a very eye-opening experience, especially if it hasn't happened to you before as a dude. But also it's very dangerous because your reputation can be destroyed. You can lose your career. People cannot side with you, right? As far as I'm concerned, this guy got decently lucky, man.
Yeah.
Decently lucky, which is sad to say.
There's many that get like really fucked over.
And then the shift happened. After the investigation ended, people started avoiding her. It wasn't coordinated or malicious. It was just quiet and organic. Teammates were polite, but they were distant. She stopped getting invited to lunch. Good. No one cracked jokes around her anymore. Nobody wanted to be in meetings. She started acting confused, then bitter. I heard through the grapevine that she told someone, it's like I don't exist anymore.
Wow.
Fantastic.
It's like just obvious response from everyone. Like,
Fantastic. I love it. She complained to management that she was being
what did she expect?
ostracized, but nobody made an effort with her anymore. And she seemed genuinely shocked by the fallout. This is just classic like modern woman behavior, isn't it, guys? Like, you know, you cause issues and then you're shocked at the repercussions of the issues that you caused. You know, insert the shocked Pikachu face meme, because that's what I imagine when these women do stupid stuff like this. They don't think about their repercussions, and then the repercussions happen, and they're surprised that they even exist. So she failed to recognize something crucial in a tight knit team. People notice patterns. They know who's real and who's not. He tried to weaponize HR against someone who had done nothing wrong, and everybody saw it. We did not hesitate. We didn't retaliate. There was no gossip, no bullying, just distance, cold professionalism, and that was enough to make her feel isolated. A few months later, she transferred to another department, and from what I hear, it's been more of the same over there. Yeah, so yeah, this is concerning, right? Because she's still there. She's just in another department. And if dudes in the other department don't know what she did, then there's a good chance one of those gets accused as well. And perhaps he's not so lucky.
They probably got tips about her, right?
So this is actually really quite concerning. Some final thoughts here. The part that stuck with me the most was she never once apologized, not to me, not even indirectly. False accusations don't just hurt the person being accused, they destroy trust, morale, and basic human decency at work. I didn't lose my job, he says, but I definitely lost some faith in how fragile your reputation can be. To anyone reading this, document everything, stay professional, and don't let false narratives slide under the radar. So as far as I'm concerned, this guy got fairly lucky. He really did. People will joke about this stuff, like I said, they'll meme about it. But this is the type of stuff that actively ruins men's lives. And it still does, by the way. We've still got a lot of the believe all women no matter what narrative floating around, even when they're just lying through their teeth, which is absolutely crazy. Guys, we're going to be leaving it there. As always, don't forget to take care of yourselves.
Damn.
Make sure you check.
There should be legally enforceable penalties for false accusations. No one trusts me after I tried to ruin someone's life with my personal entertainment. Back in '93, I had something like this happen to me. A woman went crying to the company that I had an inappropriate conversation with her. The company decided that I had done nothing wrong and I was told to stay away from her. Fine, no problem. A few weeks later, she was crying to management again because I was ignoring her. That was an interesting one. Anyway, see you guys on the next one.